The hills of eastern Washington keeps resurfacing a bottomless pit said to be a pathway to the paranormal.
When Elon Musk sent a drone into Mel's Hole, it detected something no science could explain. A backyard hole in Washington was so deep, nothing ever touched its bottom.
And people get it confused with what I call the devil's hole.
Birds avoided it. Dogs returned, changed. Even the air seemed alive. Could you imagine such a place existing, compelling the government to act swiftly and silently? We're diving into Mel's Hole and a second mysterious pit in Nevada, uncovering unimaginable forces beneath the earth that sparked Musk's alert. Prepare to discover secrets that could redefine reality. The first discovery. It all began quietly in 1997 when a man named Mel Waters called into the late-night radio show Coast to Coast AM. His voice trembled with fear as he spoke to the host, Art Bell.
When did you discover this hole?
Well, the hole has always been there. We've been out there for a couple of years now.
Mel lived near Ellensburg, Washington, where he had stumbled upon something bizarre on his property. A hole that, no matter how hard he tried, seemed to have no bottom. At first, the hole was simply part of the landscape. Locals used it as a dumping site, tossing in garbage, animal remains, and anything they didn't need. No one thought twice about it. That changed when Mel decided to measure its depth. He rigged a fishing line with a weight and lowered it in. The line kept going and going, 1,500 feet, then 5,000 feet, then 10,000 feet, and still it didn't touch anything. By the time Mel had lowered more than 80,000 feet of line, there was still no sign of a bottom. According to geological science, a hole that deep shouldn't exist. Pressure, heat, and gravity should have collapsed it long before reaching that depth. Yet Mel's Hole remained, an impossible, silent void that defied the known rules of the earth. The depth mystery. The more Mel explored, the stranger things became. His fishing line experiments weren't a one-time event, he repeated them, each time confirming the same eerie reality. The hole simply had no end. But depth wasn't the only abnormality. People who came near the hole noticed something deeply unsettling. Animals, usually curious by nature, refused to approach it. Birds altered their flight paths to avoid passing overhead. Even the surrounding air felt wrong, thick, heavy, almost humming with unseen energy. Those who stood near the edge reported an odd sensation, a gentle but undeniable pull, as if something deep below wanted to drag them in. More bizarre stories followed. Hunters claimed that things tossed into the pit didn't behave normally. Some said they heard faint noises rise from the depths, low hums, strange whispers, and eerie echoes that didn't sound like anything natural. The hole wasn't just physically endless, it seemed to warp reality itself. The strange effects. At first, people laughed off the stories about Mel's Hole as local folklore, but the events that followed were too strange to ignore. A neighbor of Mel's shared a chilling experience. His dog had grown sick and died. Heartbroken, he wrapped the dog carefully and dropped it into the endless pit. Days later, the same dog, identical in every marking, appeared on his property. But it wasn't the same. It didn't recognize its owner. It behaved differently, almost like a shell of what it once was. There were more unsettling signs. Radios brought near the hole picked up strange broadcasts, voices in languages no one could recognize. Sometimes the voices whispered. Other times, they shouted in bursts of static, as if trying to send a message through the void. Then, there was the feeling, a gnawing sensation at the back of the mind, an urge to jump, to fall forever. Birds refused to fly over the area. Small animals changed their migration paths. Hunters and ranchers began to avoid the land altogether. Even those who were skeptical admitted something about the hole didn't just break the laws of physics, it unsettled the soul. And Mel knew it was only a matter of time before bigger forces took notice. The government moves. It didn't take long before Mel's quiet life turned chaotic. Strange vehicles began appearing near his property. Black SUVs with tinted windows, helicopters hovering low and slow above the land, and men in dark clothing who didn't wear badges but carried the authority of something far greater than the local police. One afternoon, Mel returned home to find men waiting for him. They weren't friendly, and they weren't asking questions. One of them calmly handed Mel a thick envelope filled with legal documents. In the official language, it stated that the government was taking control of the property for reasons of national security. Mel protested. After all, it was his land. But the men didn't argue. Instead, they warned him in hushed, serious tones, leave quietly, or life as he knew it would be over. Understanding the threat was real, Mel packed up and left.
Name the black car and helicopter. The mail network is gone. Its land is no longer in our hands.
Shortly after, he was offered an absurdly generous settlement, far more than his land was worth, along with free medical care and an agreement of silence. It was clear, the government wasn't just interested in the hole, they were desperate to control whatever secret it contained, and they were willing to go to any lengths to keep it hidden. Elon Musk gets involved. For years, Mel's hole faded from public memory. It became another unsolved legend, spoken about in late-night radio shows and conspiracy forums. But the mystery refused to stay buried. Someone powerful started asking questions, someone with the means to dig deeper. Elon Musk. Unlike most, Musk had access to advanced technology, satellites, deep scanning equipment, and exploratory drones. He wasn't relying on stories or rumors. Reports surfaced that Musk had quietly acquired detailed information about the land where Mel's hole once was.
Musk looked at the void and warned, "Something's beneath us, and we're not ready."
Locals noticed something strange too. The air around the old site seemed heavier, quieter, almost unnatural. Ranchers near the area spoke of bizarre sights, a dark, almost liquid beam of blackness shooting into the sky from the location where the hole once lay exposed. No light, no fire, just pure darkness rising upward like a reverse shadow. Musk didn't make public statements immediately, but when he finally did, his words were chilling. There's something beneath us, and we're not ready for it. Deeper mysteries and the second hole. As Musk's quiet investigation stirred new interest, an even more shocking revelation emerged. Mel's hole wasn't the only one. Mel himself had once heard rumors of a second, similar phenomenon. This time, deep in the deserts of Nevada. The second hole was different.
In Nevada, they found another pit, humming, alive, and reshaping anything that touched it.
Yet just as disturbing, it wasn't merely deep, it was alive. Those who approached it reported hearing a low, rhythmic hum that vibrated through their bones. Strange lights flickered from its depths, and the air around it shimmered unnaturally, as if reality itself was bending. One man, who went by several names to avoid being tracked, claimed to have thrown a tool into the Nevada hole. Minutes later, the tool was returned, but it wasn't the same. Its edges had been smoothed, its material altered, as if something within the hole had remade it. Shortly after sharing his experiences, the man vanished without a trace. For Mel, this confirmed a terrible suspicion. His discovery wasn't unique. If two such holes existed, how many more were hidden across the world, sealed beneath military bases, deep inside classified zones, kept secret from humanity? And more importantly, what forces were connected to them? Theories and legends. As whispers of the second hole spread, so did the theories. Some scientists initially suggested natural explanations. Perhaps Mel's hole was a massive sinkhole or the remnant of an ancient volcanic vent. But none of those theories explained the most chilling aspects. The objects that vanished without a sound, the animals' strange behavior, the bizarre radio signals, or the icy material that refused to melt. Others believed something darker. Some thought the hole was not a natural feature at all, but a machine. An ancient, incomprehensible device buried deep beneath the earth. The smooth walls, the strange heartbeat signals detected later, and the transformation of objects thrown into it hinted at technology far beyond anything humanity had created. Even local indigenous tribes had stories passed down through generations, legends of a place where the dead did not stay dead, where spirits were trapped, and where an ancient presence watched from deep below. These stories existed long before Mel ever made his discovery public. One chilling idea grew stronger. Mel's hole might not be a hole at all. It might be a doorway to where, or to what, no one knew. But whatever was on the other side, it hadn't finished its work. The drone mission and final warning. Determined to uncover the truth, Elon Musk took action. Using advanced drones originally designed for deep space missions, able to navigate without GPS, light, or human control, he launched an expedition into what remained of Mel's hole. At first, the footage showed what was expected: endless blackness, with walls so smooth they seemed crafted, not natural. As the drone descended, sensors detected bizarre anomalies, subtle temperature shifts, and magnetic fields behaving in ways no science could explain. Then, a strange signal emerged. It wasn't radio, mechanical, or electrical. It pulsed like a heartbeat, slow and deliberate, coming from deep within. As the drone ventured deeper, the feed suddenly cut out. No warning, no crash, only a chilling silence, as if the hole itself had consumed it. Later, Musk spoke briefly. There's something down there, something we don't understand, and we aren't ready for it. The real mystery had only begun. Mel's hole remains a chilling mystery. Despite silence and cover-ups, what lies beneath still waits, unknown and untouched. Elon Musk's warning was clear. We aren't ready for what's down there. Some truths are too big to bury. What do you believe hides in the darkness? Share your thoughts below.